Alright, so initially I wasn't gonna make a video on this, but I saw every other YouTuber did, so I was like, hey, I'm not gonna miss out on this, alright? I'm making my views, man! Uh, Regents, if you don't know Regents, he is one of the big data miners or leakers for the game, has found something in the test slash beta app of a new system being developed that I think is, if does come to fruition, is pretty cool. Now, I want to give you a friendly reminder that this test slash beta app that Regions has access to, that he leaks from time to time, most of the time, nothing comes out of it. If you come back here to October of 2021, you will see a lot of these characters have not come out. Now, Sarah and Tarmiel, we had new versions of, and Elizabeth is so like not specific. This could be any Elizabeth. But then you have vampires, you have original Galfer, and this can go on. If I go up, you know, Rimuru from the Part 2 Slime collab in August here, he would have been Demon Race, right? Like these things sometimes come to fruition. This did. Margaret was released around this date, and she wasn't a 600 though, she was a festival, right? But then Holy War Source did not come out. Like, some things do release, some doesn't. If this is a system they're working on and does end up releasing, I think could be really cool. So, it's a system that if you use two specific named characters, you will get an extra passive buff. This can be very, very, very cool, especially if it's a PvE only system, I feel like. Because that will add on to a lot of team building things. So, by the way, speaking of things, the reveal for the anniversary unit will be today, or tonight, by the time you're watching this. And I'll be live on Twitch to react to it, but don't worry, the patch notes, I'll get that recorded and uploaded here on YouTube as fast as possible. If you do want to come by, it will be at like 1 p.m. Central European, and I think 7 a.m. Eastern. So, you know, link in the description. But, so if you use two of the same name, sorry, not same, two of specific named characters, you get an extra passive for, I'm guessing, either those two characters or for all characters on your team. I'm guessing those two characters because this one specifies to all 7DS characters, but so if you use like Eligon and Twigo, increases defense by 20%, Gilfunder and Hauser crit damage by 25%, Gilfunder and Grimoire max HP with 25%, so you see these combos here going, and I think if they add like a shit ton of these, to the point where like team building revolves not only around how good the character is, but also the secondary passive it gets by combining them, it could be a really cool and innovative system that would be very, very fun to mess with. Or it could be an absolute lunacy trying to figure out what's the most optimal way to run your characters. It can go either way. Slater and Simon increases crit chance by 50%. See, this is good because it makes sense with Slater. Again, if they are working on this right now, I can only assume they want to make new different systems because they really are trying to innovate. One thing that Grand Cross does more than other gacha games I see is they, as much as we give them shit for not maybe getting the best updates out there with new content, they try to make new systems pretty regularly, and a lot of these come flat and never release, or a lot of these just either don't hit, right? But they try, and I think that this is probably also a thing where they're trying to make these new systems to test the water for Origin. I don't know, maybe. Meliodas and Princess Elizabeth, this is specific. So this is like base Meliodas, because this one specifies Lost Vein Meliodas. Increases basic stats to all 7DS characters by 10%. So I guess this would be like base Melly and like base Liz. Lost Vein and Goddess Liz. Allies heal 40% of lost HP at the start of next turn. Okay, now we're starting to get to like some crazy passives. Like until here it was like, okay, right? Because here, so what I'm saying is, this secondary passive seems to only affect those characters, right? Because this one specifies allies heal. So, you know, this one would be like, oh, like Slater gets a crit chance 50%. It's not all allies, right? This one is like allies heal. Meliodas, Assault Melee and Fast Zeldris increases damage by 20% against debuffed enemies, similar to Lolly Merlin. Lolly Merlin gets an attack increase, similar to Shin. Meliodas Dark? I guess Trader Meliodas, because it's Dark type. And Bloody Elizabeth, anniversary character. When a debuff unit receives Damate? Okay, increase damage. Okay, receive damage. Increases its damage in 20%. Okay. Nunchuck Bond in normal lane. Increases crit chance and crit damage. Not very specific. Purgatory Bond and Wing the Lane. Increases max HP in 15%. Okay. I mean, this is one of those cases where, like, it's interesting that they would have made this combo, but unless a Wing the Lane makes any sense whatsoever to release it. Wait, doesn't... Wait. Doesn't Wing the Lane... Yeah, it increases HP related stats, but it's so low. It's like 5%. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Plus, you wouldn't be able to use Arthur at that point. King Base, DM Giant, increases damage to all AoE skills in 20%. Fast King and Ragnarok the End increases damage in 15% against debuffed enemies. That's interesting. Like this passive is shit because, like, someone else has a 20%. It's like, I don't know, if they are working on this system, I hope, I think this would be like a PvP and PvE system, but I hope that it's a case where it becomes an extra passive alongside that would just help you to clear out activities like bird and stuff. Like, okay, let's keep going here for the examples we have. Fast King and Queen DN increases defense 15%, that's shit. Normal Galfer and Hawk increases basic stats of all allies and 20% of the enemy with the most CC. I mean, if you can use Hawk in the back, it wouldn't be the worst. Festival Galfer and Base Merlin, when receive damage, apply debuff to... Oh, that's good. You know why? Because Unknown, you could run this. I mean, you'd probably want to run... you probably want to run Summer Merlin, but you could. If you get attacks you, the enemies every time they attack you, yeah. Normal Merlin and Ascot. Increase attack in 2% for each skill use max 10 times. Oh, Green Ascanar? Yeah, best you in the game. Lolly Merlin and Bloody Elizabeth increases max HP in 20%. Base Merlin and Base Lilia decreases attack in 20%. Decreases enemy attack in 20%. I mean, I do wonder if this system will ever come to fruition. I think that they have something that they can work with here that would be pretty cool. But at the same time, could be very detrimental to the game. So they probably, if they are working on this, probably will go through several testing and to see if it's worth it. But this, I mean, they're mentioning Bloody Liz, which is going to be the anniversary character. They already confirmed it on Twitter. If you missed it, I can actually show. They already confirmed it on Twitter. We almost ratioed them, boys. Almost. But they already confirmed it on Twitter. It's Bloody Elizabeth. If you go on the replies, most of them are just... yeah, most of them are this, but you can even see the correct post they had and then deleted as well with the double goddess eye. So Bloody Elizabeth is the anniversary, and You know, this could be coming for anniversary because of all the mentions of her. If it is coming for anniversary, it would be part two, sort of like when they released Super Awakening for part two of anniversary. We'll see. Again, this could be really cool or really bad. It depends on them. That's the ball is in their court. Should see what they do with it. But it could be really cool.